Hello and welcome to Marty Speaks episode 2, Saving for Your Retirement. Something that is so looked over nowadays. Like, people don't even know what an IRA is, and that's exactly what we're going to go over. So, let me introduce myself. My name is Carlos Martinez. I'm a soldier in the United States Army. I got a passion for finance, and I really just want to spread the word on how to make your life a lot easier, both in the financial world and just in your life in general. The small little things in life that you could be improving that'll make your life a little bit better every other day and throughout the week. So let's get started. Let's talk about how we did last year in 2017 financially. According to a 2017 Go Banking Rank survey, more than half of Americans, 57% to be precise, have less than $1,000 in their savings account. $1,000. Less than half. Well, my apologies. More than half of Americans. Think about that. Less than $1,000. 78% of full-time workers say that they live paycheck to paycheck, which is up 3% from 2016, where it was only 75%. So it's not getting any better. People are constantly spending more than they can save. They're spending faster than they can save. They have the mindset of, I'm going to spend this much throughout the week, and whatever I have left over, I'm going to put in my savings account. And that is a terrible way to do things. A terrible way. According to a report by the Economic Policy Institute, many Americans have some catching up to do when it comes to retirement. Families with retirees from ages of 50 to 55 have an average of $124,000 saved up in their retirement funds. Families with ages of 56 and 60 through 61 have an average of $163,000 saved up. Now, I don't know if you can see the problem here, but I can. Imagine retiring at the age of 65. Okay, let's say you live to 90. That is 25 years, if I'm not mistaken, of living off your retirement account. Like, sure, some people might have, little side things built up for them, like pension plans and all the things, but let's just say you had $180,000 saved up for the next 25 years. In 20 years, your retirement account is going to be wiped out. Think about that. Like, you're not going to have, and that's only if you spend like $20,000 a year. Can you really provide for yourself and for your family with $20,000 a year for the next 10 years? 10 years. Yeah, 10 years. Your total account will be wiped out. So, another thing we might be asking is, how much is enough? Well, it's safe to say that, like, from a report on www.aarp.org, says usually $1 to $1.5 million, so seven figures, would be enough to lay in your nest egg and retire comfortably and enjoy the golden years. So you're probably thinking to yourself, $1 million, like, I don't make that much to save up. Like, I don't know. Like, well, that's where IRAs come into play. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what is an IRA? It's like, an IRA is an individual retirement account. Now, there's two kinds. There's traditional and there is Roth IRA plans. We're going to start off with traditional, but before we do that, let's get a little general information on an IRA. In 2005, the Supreme Court ruled that even if you file for bankruptcy, your IRA will not be affected in any way, shape, or form, which means for whatever reason, shape, or form, you file for bankruptcy, you can still fund your IRA account. You can still set yourself up for success in the future when you retire. Now, I'm not encouraging going bankrupt and riding solo on your IRA, because that's a terrible idea. Don't do that. But it's a pretty cool fact. So let's start up jumping on the traditional IRA train. Now, traditional IRAs usually have a limit of an annual contribution of $5,500. So you can only contribute up to $5,500. throughout the year. Now, if you are married, you and your spouse can contribute up to $4,000 in your own separate IRA accounts. For an IRA account, usually to work, you fund your account with a percentage of the money you make off your whatever income you have, and then you leave it in that fund. And over time, you choose certain securities to invest your money in. And over time, it will build as more as you fund, and as the years go by, the compound interest takes place. So that is the general idea of how an IRA works. So for a traditional IRA, you cannot pull out any money until you are the age of 59 and a half. And once you reach the age of 70 and a half, and you have still not withdrawn any money, the government actually tells you you have to start withdrawing monthly amounts so that way you can start using that money. So when you start, like, you do not get taxed on your money until you withdraw that money. So if you're 59 and a half and you withdraw $10,000, that $10,000 gets taxed. So that is one thing that traditional has rather than Roth. Because with a Roth IRA, which I'm going to talk about right now, you'll see the differences that play out. But when you withdraw money in a traditional IRA account, that's when it gets taxed. So usually that's why people choose traditional over Roth, because with a traditional IRA, they want to go off their tax bracket to get taxed. So let's say you are the age of 40 and you are still contributing to your IRA, and you don't want to get hit with the taxes you have in your tax bracket when you're in the height of your career. Let's say the height of your career is 40, 45 years old. You're getting paid the most you've ever gotten paid. And instead of getting taxed at that tax bracket, you want to wait until you are 70 years old, retired, making a lower income than you did in your 40s and 50s. And that way you get hit with less tax since you're in a lower tax bracket. So that's usually why people go and are influenced more with sticking with a traditional IRA. Now, another thing that's cool is that your contributions that you make to your IRA are also tax deductible. So that's one thing I really want you to stick with in your traditional IRA. Whenever you think of traditional IRA, just think that you don't get taxed until your funds do not get taxed until you withdraw from your IRA account. So the next thing we're going to move into is the Roth IRA. So with the Roth IRA, it has similarities as the traditional IRA, like the annual contribution is still $5,500. The age limit is still the same, 59 and a half. You can start withdrawing. 70 and a half is the maximum where you have to start withdrawing. So this is the thing that sets it apart from the traditional IRA. With the Roth IRA, your contributions are taxed as soon as you put it into the account. So once you make it to 59 and a half years old, the amount left into that account that you have in your Roth IRA is the amount that you have. No taxes are in play for that. As soon as you withdraw money, your funds are not affected by taxes anymore, because you had been taxed with every single contribution you put into your Roth IRA fund. So that's a pretty cool thing. That's usually why people go with Roth, because they want to just get the tax hit over with. They want to contribute. They want to know how much they truly have, and they don't have to worry about taxes when they withdraw. They just want to get it over with and have a set number by the time they retire and realize, hey, I have $1 million here. It's not affected by taxes because I already got hit by the tax hit. So that's a pretty cool thing. And other cool thing is that the Roth IRA actually has less limitations than a traditional IRA. For example, you can actually withdraw up to $10,000 after 5 years of having the fund, penalty free, if it is for first home quality purchases. If you are to die and you have a beneficiary in your will, if you are to become disabled. So that's another reason why it would be pretty wise to go with the Roth IRA, because there's less limitations and you can actually use that money if the occasion calls for it. So you want to think to yourself, like, which one is better? Which one should I go with? You really want to think about your situation. Do you think you're going to make more money in your 40s and 50s and then slope a little further down when you reach the age of 60 and 70? Or do you just want to get the tax hit over with? Do you plan on working throughout your 70s and 80s and you believe that you're still going to be making more money and you just want to deal with the tax hit then Roth would probably be the best way to go. But at the end of the day, the big thing with IRAs is that you want to constantly fund this account. You want to automate it. You want to make it to the point where a percentage of your check is going into that account regardless of what happens. Make sure it is an amount that you can live without, so like 10%, and you don't have to go crazy and put like 20% of your check in there, because then you just most likely cause some trouble for you. So start with 10%. When you get a raise, bump it up to 12% and just keep it like that. Like, bump it up every now and then. Once you get a raise, a better position in your job, you just constantly want to add more to the fund so you can let the compound interest take its place. So another thing, guys, is you want to be responsible with this as much as possible. Fund your account. Don't just think you can work for the rest of your life. Like, I understand a lot of people love to work and they plan on working for the rest of their life, but you also want to put yourself in a position where you don't have to work if you don't want to. With this kind of account, an IRA or individual retirement account, you can put yourself in a position where you're doing something you love because you want to, not because you have to. So I deeply hope you take this video seriously, and we'll be posting a lot more recently. Every couple of days we'll be posting things like this to educate, what kind of securities could I be investing in, what are the ways to expand my money, what are the sources of income, what can I be doing to improve my job, like what can I be doing to improve my situation in the workplace. So comment down below for anything you would want me to go over. Like and subscribe this video if you truly enjoyed it, and share with your friends for anyone you truly think is taking retirement, kind of laughing it off, and if you truly care about your family and you want them to hear about this video and get a good grasp idea of what an individual retirement account can do for your family or your friends, please like, subscribe, and share this video. Hope you guys have a nice day. That's going to be all for today with Marty Speaks. Tune in a couple of days. I'm going to have plenty of more content. So you guys have a great day. Adios.